Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. This is going to be the Crisis at the Border special edition, ladies and gentlemen, and what is happening now because of all of the illegal immigrants that have been allowed to go through our porous borders. Whistleblower reveals how migrants get free hotels, food, healthcare, tablets, Ubers, and more. Before we continue, ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a quick notice that OUPES is having a flash sale that will be over in hours. They're having great prices. So if you're in the market for a solar generator, go check OUPES out. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are being invaded. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this has all been planned. And we will get to that here in a few minutes. Illegal aliens in Massachusetts are filling hotels and motels across the state. It's not only a roof over their heads and 3 squares a day, but free diapers, free wipes, toiletries, free blankets, and phones. Free English lessons, state caseworkers making sure all entitlements are taken, free Uber and Lyft rides, and free bus passes. And my question, ladies and gentlemen, is this: do you really think that anything in life is free? So where is this money coming from that these states all of a sudden have out of nowhere, that they didn't have before to spend on their own citizens? Before we continue, let me tell you that I do not agree with the state, i.e. any type of government, giving anything to anyone. And what you have to understand is why. Because government, no matter what size, does not produce anything. The only thing that government does is consume. And what it consumes is other people's labor. Your tax dollars equal your labor, and without your tax dollars, the government cannot consume. Unless they have a printing press, and then that's a different matter. That's a matter of them stealing from you your wealth without asking you your permission. And coming from the Epoch Times, New York Mayor Eric Adams announces a new $53 million program to give $1,000 a month to illegal immigrant families in the form of prepaid credit cards. Well, I guess they're testing out their universal basic income on people that aren't even citizens of this great nation. Incredible. This follows a recent announcement in Chicago. A member of the Chicago City Council has denounced the administration of Mayor Brandon Johnson for giving illegals freebies amounting to $9,000 a month. Ladies and gentlemen, that's $108,000 a year equivalent. Alderman Anthony Beale, who represents the city's 9th Ward, expressed his indignation to the scheme during an address made on the council floor. According to him, illegals are being paid more than $9,000 per month in free childcare, housing vouchers, food, clothing, education, legal help, and other services. Now, I've said this before, says Beale. If you give me 3 meals a day, housing, childcare, education, a voucher for $9,000, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to come to Chicago. And why are they doing this, ladies and gentlemen? Stay tuned, because we're going to go ahead and talk about that here in the next few minutes. Now, let me take a quick break and ask you for your support. Please give this video a like. Please share it. Please let it play all the way through. Ladies and gentlemen, if you let an ad or two run through, it really helps, not only with revenue, but with the algorithm. The algorithm will pick it up and share with more people. As you all know, as I've been saying for the last couple of months now, I've fallen out of favor with the YouTube algorithm, but in hopes that more people get this message that we need to get prepared, because everything I'm showing you and have shown you so far on this video says that your government is not coming to take care of you when you need it the most. And you know what? That's not what government is for. So get prepared for yourselves and make sure that you have it when you need it. And Mr. Beale continues, that's what they are doing. They're sending money back to Venezuela and other countries, I'm sure. They're telling people to come to Chicago because they're saying, hey, the good times are rolling here. They're taking care of everyone except for Americans. Again, you get the government that you vote for. And I do understand that I'm sure that we've voted in governments in the past that we thought were one thing and ended up being the exact opposite. Why? Because we no longer even have the power to recall senators back to the states that they ran from. Anyways, I digress. Why would they be letting millions and millions and millions of people just freely come through the southern border, allowing the law to be broken every single day. Not only bringing, people that shouldn't be here according to the law, but also bringing with it all of the peripherals that really destroy our nation, like cartels, like drugs. Last year, I believe we had about 110 or so thousand overdoses of fentanyl in the United States of America alone. Where do you think that those drugs are coming from? And he continues to say, this is the plan. Get as many illegals in the country as possible, legalize them to create a permanent majority, a one-party state. If you have Allstate insurance, please look into this. It says here that a whistleblower alleges that Allstate insurance is compromising millions by selling identities and that a court case is pending. I do not know 100% about the validity of this. However, I was sent this article by one of our community members, so thank you. If you have Allstate, just look into, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you're not getting ripped off. And if you think that the price of things are pretty high now, ladies and gentlemen, which they are, if we do end up having some kind of a kinetic engagement, not only with Iran, but with any of those countries in the Middle East or any of our foes that don't really like the United States of America, the price of everything will skyrocket. And why is that? Because whenever the price of oil goes up, the price of everything else goes up with it. The cost of running a McDonald's jumps $250,000 in California. That's a surprise due to minimum wage hikes. Why don't they just raise the minimum wage to $100 an hour, ladies and gentlemen, and make everyone rich? Why can't they do that? Has anyone ever asked themselves that? Why is it that they can't do that? Because instead of having an $18 Big Mac, like this is going to make a Big Mac meal, I think, is to go up to like 18 bucks, because McDonald's just can't absorb the price. This is per store, ladies and gentlemen. $250,000 a year per store because of this minimum wage hike, right? Instead of $18 for a Big Mac, it'd probably be about $50 for a Big Mac. But don't worry, that's coming to a city near you here in the future. Prices at fast food restaurants in California are set to jump in April as a huge minimum wage hike kicks in. Escalating restaurant prices won't be limited to California. This is happening all over the country. Number one, inflation, and there are other states that are undertaking this minimum wage hike ridiculousness, ladies and gentlemen. It's nothing but a fiasco to put the small people out of business and make big corporations make even more money. This McDonald's here, let's say, for example, that has to pay all this extra money for minimum wage. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to hire robots. That's exactly what they're going to do. And they're going to fire people. Why? Because they don't have to pay robots $20 an hour, but they do people. And then what are those people going to do that actually wanted to work? Well, they'll go ask the state for some free money if they haven't given it to the illegal immigrants already. And I say again that nothing is free, and people are going to learn that the hard way, unfortunately. Biden brags about defying Supreme Court on student debt cancellation, claims no cost to taxpayers. It must be that a magical unicorn flew across the country and just forgave all of those student loans, out of thin air. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing for free. Someone will pay the price for these student loans, and more than likely it will be those people that have to pay taxes. And to finish it off, ladies and gentlemen, this is my opinion and my opinion alone, with the biggest hoax of a generation. The UN says melting Arctic ice is key indicator for climate change, but the problem is it's not really melting. And they say that it's bad news for polar bears, according to the most recent assessment report by the UN's IPCC. Because of increase in carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gas emissions, modeling and simulations predict that the Arctic will be without ice during the month of September by 2050. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, how many times are they going to have to push the date forward? But let's read on. We project an ice-free Arctic in September under all scenarios considered. A scientific report highlighting IPCC's findings states, these results emphasize the profound impacts of greenhouse gas emissions on the Arctic. You better stop farting. They want us to eat more fiber and they want us to eat less meat. The problem with fiber is, ladies and gentlemen, is that it does produce methane when it goes through your system. I found that out the hard way when I cheated cheated on my carnivore diet the other day and had a couple of corn tortillas. We won't get into that, but a similar prediction was made in 2013, but at that time the prediction was for no ice by 2033. You notice how when they pick numbers, they pick nice even numbers. Like in 2013 they're like, oh, in 20 years there's not going to be any ice. Well, according to this person who predicted no ice in 20 years by 2033, well, you better enjoy these winters that we're having. All right, you better enjoy these nice chilly winters that we've been having, because you won't see them anymore in another 9 years. The facts are that the Arctic ice extent measured by satellite since 1978 expressed annual variations, and it has declined considerably from 1997 to 2007. However, before that period, from 1978 to 1996, the downward trend was minimal, and in the last 17 years, from 2007 to 23, the downward trend has also been about zero, the report states. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all a cycle. The climate is a cycle just like anything else. Therefore, there is no indication that we should expect the Arctic sea summer ice to disappear completely as predicted in 1 or 2 decades. I hope that you are getting something out of these news videos that I put up twice a week. For those of you that are new, I put up a news video that compiles all of the news for the last 2 or 3 days on Tuesdays. I apologize for missing it yesterday. I had a headache pretty much all day long. But thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your support and still clicking on my older videos. And I also put up a second news video on Saturdays. I fill up the rest of my week by doing a review, showing you how to prep on the cheap now and then, maybe doing 1 or 2 commentaries. And my wife said, you need to start doing some canning and cooking videos again. And I'll have to look into what I can do canning for, because my pantry does have a few holes that I should fill. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, remember to check out the sale that OUPES is having. It only has a few hours left. I hope you have a great rest of your day. God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.